Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let me tell you why Donald Trump is not going to win. To those who have not been close to my channel, this is King Gio. I am the host of this channel, and I want to thank each and every one of you who's coming in or who's going to join and subscribe to my channel too. I'm going to tell you why Donald Trump is not going to win. Okay, the last 4 years, from 2020 to 2024, all Donald Trump has said is that he was cheated out of his campaign, that he was cheated out of the election. And that does not resonate with people. You know, the Republican Party of today is not the Republican Party of yesterday. Donald Trump has taken this party and has drained it. Completely drained it. And true Republicans are tired of that. Real Republicans won't acknowledge Donald Trump. They won't. You can see it from Mitt Romney. You could see it from a lot of people that they don't acknowledge Donald Trump as a true candidate. The only reason Donald Trump won in 2016 was because he was different. There was something about him that people liked, whether it was the one that he spoke very forward, and he said he was not a business, that he was not a politician, but he is a politician because he gives to politics. He donates to politics. I mean, he donated to Kamala Harris Foundation. He was running for Attorney General. His daughter gave money to her too. He's given to the Clinton administration. He's given to Bill Clinton. He's given to Hillary Clinton when she was the senator from New York. So he's given money. So you know you're a businessman, but you're really into politics when you give these people money. So of course for his own benefits, he has a casino and stuff like that. So he spoke the way people with no class speaks to people. You know, puts them down and speaks his mind. Doesn't speak his mind. It's just utter stupidity, right? And some people like that. So he brought the uneducated to life. He brought those people who they thought didn't have a voice to have a voice, because now they identify themselves as speaking with, having to identify themselves with someone who speaks like them. And then we go into the elections. He didn't win the popular vote, but he won. He won the electoral vote, and he became president of the United States. What's the first thing that he did? One of the first things that he did, besides doing executive orders, was that he passed a tax cut. That tax cut, right, gave that put us in a deficit of he put $1.9 trillion on that tax cut alone. That was tax cut for the wealthy, which brought the corporate tax rate from 30 all the way down to, I think it was what, 21%? 21, I think 35 to 21%. Okay? And that gave them a huge bracket, but it gave those wealthy owners, the wealthy, they gave them tax breaks. But do you think those tax breaks was given to its employees? No, it wasn't. 401k runs on 401k runs on the stock market. So the stock market was doing good. The stock market is doing better now than it was when Trump was in office. But the stock was doing good. All right, so your 401k was doing good. So for those 3 years, Donald Trump inherited what Barack Obama gave. So you remember, no matter who's the president, you're going to inherit what that president is going to leave you. So if that president leaves you a good economy, you should go with that good economy. And, you know, hopefully things will work out, whether you're Trump or not, it works out. So that did trickle, it did go, but there are some things that Donald Trump did in his administration that put us a little bit lower in the economy, which was the tax cut, right? We lost a lot of manufacturing jobs. A lot of jobs were leaving here. Carrier Air, which he negotiated to keep, stood here for a few months, and then they left to China. I mean, they left to Mexico, I'm sorry. They went to Mexico anyway. There was nothing we didn't bring back, so to speak. We didn't bring back the jobs that he said he was going to bring. We didn't bring that back. Coal miners lost more jobs under him than any other administration. We lost more people, more manufacturing jobs left. He said he was going to bring those back, and he did not. He said that he was going to bring a health plan, and he was going to repeal Obamacare, and he did not. Every time that you ask him what's good the health plan, yeah, but I had it done for 2 weeks. That never happened. And infrastructure never happened. Okay? And he said he would, but yet all of his wealthy people got their tax rate. He did he did the child tax credit, which at $3,000, something that Joe Biden wanted to implement too. He wanted to keep that, but being that Donald Trump is no longer president, the Republicans said no. And you can look that up. I'm giving you facts, okay? So in Barack Obama did more in his last 3 years than what Donald Trump did in his first 3 years, and that's a fact, okay? There's some things that you got to give credit to Donald Trump. Yes, I do. And there are things that I don't. There's more of the don'ts than more of the do. But Donald Trump created an illusion to people that said that Mike Pence had the obligation not to certify the election, when anyone who knows about constitutional law knows that the Vice President of the United States is there to validate those. He cannot unvalidate them. He cannot say, no, this is no good. He cannot do that. The Constitution does not allow him to do so. He can call votes, and then he can do certain things, but to say that I'm not going to validate these, it's not his job to do, and it's illegal. So Donald Trump knew that, because Donald Trump has advisors that tells he may not know that. Let's say he does not know, but I'm pretty sure that someone told him, President Trump, he cannot do that. But he still kept on. He still kept on. And while he was there in January 6th, what happened? He said, I will march with you. And we must fight, because if we don't fight, we don't have a country no more. You and I know what that means, right? Because we're civil people. But to the majority of them there, they thought that he was literally, and he knew this because he knows how to speak, and he knew that these people, once he said certain words, they was going to do it. So in their minds, because that's the way he perpetrated, that he was going to walk with them, and he was going to fight with them at the Capitol. And they did that. But he never showed up. And when they went in there, they started breaking windows, they started breaking doors, they started hitting police officers, and it became a disaster. It became one of the worst days besides 9/11 that the United States has ever witnessed. You know how many foreign countries must have said, look how weak the United States is? Inside their own home, they have terrorists, because that's what it was. It was an insurrection. Okay, when they went in there, they said, hang Mike Pence. You put the man's life in danger because you, in your mind, you said that the votes were stolen, that this was stolen. We had the most secure election there was. Just because you see, we all saw what happened, and there was some there was some boxes moved. That does not mean that the computer. That's not the way it works, people. So he says, oh, I saw people, and when you say something over and over and over again, people tend to believe it, even though it's a lie. So that's what he did. He put himself first, above all, and the hell with everything else. Okay? He spent 4 years, 3.5 years, saying the elections was lost. The elections were stolen, and they were stolen, and yet he went to 61 or 60 courts, and judges that he decided to put in, that he put in, said no. Other judges said no. They all said no because he had no proof. But by him keep going, his followers just kept saying, "Oh, it is true," and his own people who decided to do a count with the manual hand count. It came out that Joe Biden and some of them got more votes than what he originally did by the computer. Whether it was Wisconsin, whether it was Las Vegas, whether it was Pennsylvania, Georgia, those are the states that hand counted the votes again because he decided. And then, and I think in Arizona and Nevada, especially in Nevada, there were a group of people that paid $1 million some dollars, and they hand counted the votes themselves. And it came out that Joe Biden did win Nevada. So if it's hand counted, how can you say it's fake? How can you just not take the defeat and say, you know what? Okay, the people spoke. That's their decision. I'll come back in 4 years. Okay? That's what a true patriot American would do. But not Trump. Trump is all about him. If you see the RNC, no ex Republican president or vice president went, because they don't want to be associated with him. They might not tell you. They might not tell you that to the news because they don't want to lose the constituents, and that's very bad when you do that. Because I prefer, if I'm a Republican, I prefer you telling me the truth. So you know what? I'm not with Donald Trump. Okay, and if I like Donald Trump, if you're not with Donald Trump, that's okay. I don't live in your state. I don't care. That's on you, you know. But they don't do that because they're afraid of what they're going to lose. These are men and women who are lawyers and doctors. Some of them, because Major Taylor Greene or Laura Boebert are none of those. I don't know where they got the GEDs, or they give people a bad name who put the GED, because GEDs are hard tests. And those who have GEDs, I applaud you. I commend you. But he has brought this hatred towards this country, this division, that he has said nothing time after time after time how the elections were stolen. And that turns people off. Okay? The economy was not better 4 years ago than it is now, people. Everybody that says that's because they got a stimulus check. And that stimulus check was given by the Democrats because Donald Trump didn't want to give a stimulus check. And it was not even that amount. The Democrats wanted to give $6,000. And they said no. So think about that. So a lot of blacks and a lot of Latinos are going for him because they think they're going to get a stimulus check. They don't understand that the stimulus was given because there was a pandemic. Bush did one. Barack Obama did one when there was a pandemic. It's the logical thing to do. But they think they're going to get that. They think that because they got a child tax credit, and then some of them got $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 in child tax credit because it was $3,000 per child. Some of them have 4 children, 5 children, 6 children. Who knows? Some of them probably got, give me your kids. I'll take your kids. I'll give you some. That's the way that it was. So that's what these people are basing this off. Oh, I have more money then than I do now. So if you have more money then than you do now, are you in the same job? Yes. So why are you not making the same money or more? Our economy right now is much better now than it was with Trump. The only thing is that we have an inflation. And that inflation is coming down. Out of all the countries, the whole world had an inflation. And our inflation is at 2.9%. Going towards lower and lower. Why we don't see it in our pockets? Because every time you go to eat something, it's hard. I understand that. I really do. But it's corporate greed. Prices go up quickly, guys. But for the price to come back down, these people up here, they want to squeeze every little dime that there is here before they decide, let's let it go. And when it's let go, you see it in gas prices. When gas prices go up, right? You see it go up. And by the way, no president control the price of gas. And once it goes up, once the barrel of crude oil goes down, you see the news. Oh, the crude oil is down to $50 a barrel. That's pretty low. This won't go that low that quick. They take their time because they want to take as much money from here as they can. They lower it, they lower it, they lower it. Maybe in a month or 2 months you'll see it even out. And then this goes up again, whoop, and they show you back up. Same thing with food. These food companies want to gauge you out of everything that they have. It was the COVID, people supply and demand, people needed stuff. They said let's jack up the price. Eggs were up because there was an outbreak in one of the major egg farms, and they had to close down. So and then the other eggplants decided, you know what? They're not in competition right now, so let's raise the prices because people couldn't want it. So we can raise it to the point that the people are going to buy it regardless. Pepsi did the same thing. Pepsi rose their prices. Coca-Cola rose their prices. They didn't have to, but they did. So you, as a consumer, what you do, instead of buying this product that you always buy, then you buy another product that costs less. Then you buy another product that costs less. And you stop buying their product, and you will see how they'll be forced to bring down those prices. But you cannot blame. I would never blame if prices were high to Donald Trump. I would never blame gas prices up to Donald Trump. That's because I know better than that. I know that Donald Trump cannot control the price of gasoline. I know that. He cannot control the price of gasoline. He cannot control the price rent. He cannot control. There are certain things that a president cannot do. A president, when people say there's more crimes under Biden than there is under Donald Trump, it's not true, because the president does not control state crimes. He can pass laws federally. He can give a suggestion federally, but he cannot pass state law, because that's up to the state. So if crime is high in your state, it's not the president's fault. It's the state's fault. So you have to talk to your mayor, to your commander-in-chief, to your governor. They're the ones who're supposed to take care of it. The government gives them the money. They allocate them the money. You decide what you're going to do. You know? But to stand here, to sit down to say that for the past 3.5 years, all he's constantly said that the elections were stolen, and they were not. You want to talk the border? Let's talk the border. The border was designed the way Donald Trump did it, was that everybody stays in Mexico until their date comes up, and then they can go. Okay, fine, that was good. I did like that idea, but then Biden came. He took that out and he put in something different. I don't know what he booked because I never read it, but yet when it came down to the border bill of a month and a half ago, that was going to be signed by both Republicans and Democrats, that the Republicans read, that it was given, it was the Republicans, what they asked for was given to them on that bill. It was the most stringent bill there was that's ever been made for immigration. And what happened? Donald Trump made one phone call to several Republicans to say, shoot that down, because I don't want that bill to pass until I get to president. So you prefer as a person, you prefer these things to happen until you get there. That's if you get there. For it to change. When he was on TV, he says, "I wish the economy crashed now, so when I came in, I took care of it." Is that presidential? Like, is that patriotic? Like, I don't think so. So, if I wanted to vote for Donald Trump would have to have changed his whole entire thing, his whole persona on the election story. He cannot be mentioning that because that's the past, right? I can give him the border, but now the border is even better because that law that Donald Trump said not to pass, then came Biden. He had to do an executive order, and now crossing on the border, it's minuscule. It had the encounters have gone down by a lot, but it had Joe Biden wanted an agreement. Joe Biden, you like him or not, he's always been a president's guy. He's always wanted to work with both sides of the aisle. Always when he was a senator. I mean, if you see his story, it's kind of sad. The man lost his wife, lost his child, lost 2 of his kids already. And he's trying his best to do the best what he can with what he has given. He has risen prices. That's an infrastructure, the Infrastructure Act. He passed that. If you go, I live in North Carolina, and whenever I go here, down, up and down, there's a new highway being built, a new roadway being built. Toyota is coming to North Carolina. Those people who are working for Toyota, which is 4,000 jobs, they're in training right now. Microsoft is coming. There are a lot of companies, manufacturing companies, that are the chips. There are some chips that are being down here. There's some chips that are going to be in Texas. But we are getting manufacturing jobs done because of the infrastructure, the subsidies that the United States gave them so they can bring these companies home. Okay? When you ask Donald Trump, what are you going to do to keep costs down so the inflation can go down? What you going to do so prices can go down on food? He says, drill, baby, drill. Drilling is not going to be everything. Just right now in the United States of America, you can Google this up. There are 9,000 permits out there, leasing permits out there that they can frack on, that they can drill. 9,000, and these companies don't want to drill. They don't want to drill because they're complacent. They're complacent with what they got now, the money that they got in their pockets. So it doesn't better. It's not beneficial for them to drill. And drilling alone It's not going to get you energy independent. We were never energy independent. Either Trump or the Biden. There's certain mechanisms that has to happen in order for us to be energy independent. We haven't achieved that yet. We haven't. People who are saying that, you know, we wanna kick out coal, you know, so all those coal miners. Okay, this is what I would do. If you're a coal miner, you're dealing with coal, and the government says we're going to go to AV or we're going to go to EV, and then it's the government's job to take those coal miners and teach them how to work on EV. Then let the government pay them. Let the government give them a salary and take them to school and say, this is what you need to learn to. So when EV comes, they know how to work on EVs. They know how to. It's always good to learn, man. It's always good. I don't care how old you are. Never say I'm too old. But it's always good to learn. And if the government's gonna take away that fracking away, they're gonna take that coal away from them, then you must compensate them. Give them a year's pay. Give them 2 years' pay. Come on, you did a PPP loan that was forgiven, but they don't want to forgive student loans. But 32 members of Congress got a PPP loan and they were forgiven. Major Taylor Greene, Laura Boebert, Matt Gaetz had one. Donald Trump's accountant had one. His son-in-law got one. And they were all forgiven, but they don't want to forgive the student loan. There was $73 billion given out, or $77 billion given out on a PPP loan, and $73 million of that was forgiven. If you forgave $73 billion, if you gave the student loan, it would only be $54 billion. So what's the deal? You have something to the a debt that's never going to be paid at $35 trillion. Okay. Yes, we have made our money's not worth that much now in the world because we're printing too much. Both sides. I'm talking about Biden. I'm talking about Trump and Biden. You know, when Bill Clinton left the United States of America, he left us with a surplus. Kamala Harris's economic plan is similar to that of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton rose the corporate tax. Bill Clinton did that. And when Bill Clinton left office, or when Bill Clinton did the infrastructure plan, something like that, the corporate tax was between 36 and 39%. Corporate tax was listen to this, 36 and 39%. And he still those were the 1%. Those are the high earners, and he still left us with a surplus. So why are we afraid of what Kamala's economic bill is? It's going to be basically the same thing. So why give? Because it's not trickle down. Why give corporation tax break tax? Because Donald Trump wants to lower it even lower down. Why are you going to give them tax breaks, which is not going to trickle down to us? It's not going to trickle down to the employees, because if you got a tax cut now, why you didn't give your employee? You know what? I'm making more money now that Donald Trump has given me this tax cut, so I'm going to raise your salary 10, 20. You're making 15. I'm going to give you 22, 23 dollars an hour now, because I'm making money. You know, thanks to Trump. But that doesn't happen. That's how trickle down is supposed to be. But that does not happen. But corporations want more. Corporations do stock buybacks. That's how they made their money. When gasoline was doing good, and they asked them, "Are you going to give back to the consumer?" No, they said no. You can Google it. They said no. They say their priority is their shareholders. They're going to take care of their shareholders. They gave their shareholders and the CEOs a raise, and what happened? Boom. They did paybacks. And that's it. And that's how they made their money. But do you see the one at Walmart making money? No. Do you see the one at Target making money? No. Do you see the one at McDonald's making money? No. Buybacks, not payback. Buybacks. Do you see them making money? No. But their companies made money. The government gave them, took 15% off. It was 35 before. It went down to 20, 21. That's 14% that they don't have to pay. That's money in their pocket. Did it go to the employee? No. So when he's talking about the betterment of this country. He's talking about the betterment of himself. Donald Trump wants to do things. Well, the Project 2025 is going to happen. I don't know, because in order for Project 25 to happen, you would have to have both Congress and the Senate to pass it. If he had, they're saying that there are some things that he can do that don't need Congress approval. I doubt that. I'm not a constitutional lawyer. I did study criminal law, not constitutional law, so I cannot tell you. But what I can tell you is that it takes the House, it takes both the House and the Senate to pass these laws. Does Donald Trump, do I think, at the beginning I thought that Donald Trump was going to be a dictator, and I'm not gonna lie to you. But he did his 4 years, nothing happened, because he thought that he was going to do another 4 years. But now that I see Donald Trump, as infuriating as he is, as demonic that he is, I think that if he gets chosen to be president of the United States, he will do what he can to make his status known, because it's Donald Trump. Okay, he's going to help out the wealthy. He's going to make sure that if you are a millionaire, you're going to be billionaire status. He's going to make sure that he's going to help those who are rich, and he's going to leave the middle class and them and everybody else down. Okay, he didn't do anything for Mississippi, neither did Biden. He didn't do anything for Louisiana, neither did Biden. He didn't do anything for Tennessee, neither did Biden. He didn't do anything for Alabama, neither did Biden. And I'm saying these states because these are Republican states. These, from Mississippi being the poorest of the nation, these other 4 states fall right in the top 10 of the poorest states in the nation. Why haven't these states come up? Why haven't these states flourished? Why there's so much racism within the police force in Alabama and Mississippi? Why is there? No one from either party is taking care of that. That's it. And if you think that by having RFK Jr. as a member of the team, that's not going to help nor hinder him. What's going to happen is that people that were on the RFK are going to say, you know what, you betrayed us, man. You're going to stay in the race as an independent no matter what. So what RFK did was it showed you that he just wanted to be in power. He did a good game. I enjoyed watching him talk. I enjoyed the things that he said. And I wanted to vote for him. But he killed it right there when he took everything down. He said, I'm not going to do my campaign. I'm going to go with Donald Trump. He could have kept quiet. He could have just not nominated. He could have just kept as a commentator. And then later on, like Chris Cuomo said, he could have just endorsed someone. But what he did, he could have made history, guys. He could have kept the independent party at a 5%. If he would have won 5% of the vote, the independent party would have been locked and loaded, and they would have gotten $13 million for the next election. Something that you don't have to go around getting signatures so you can be in the ballot. You would have been on the ballot already. He would have been able to make history on his own, and then you could have said, you know what, we as independents are here because of RFK Jr. But he didn't do that. So that to me is a no-no. So I'm not voting for him. I will not go with him going with Trump. I'm not voting for Trump. I am going to vote. I'm going to keep my vote for Kamala. I was going to vote for Joe Biden. I was going to vote for Chris Christie, but Chris Christie wasn't there. And then I'm not going to vote for Trump. So I'm going to go for Kamala. Like I said, she has the idea of Clinton's in her economic plans. If you look at it, they're basically the same thing. A few tweaks. And I'm not gonna pay attention to the inflation because I know inflation is going down. Inflation is everywhere in the world, but we are the envy of the world when it comes to inflation. We're number 1 in the chips, so our chips are being made here in the United States. People are making them here, so that's good. Joe Biden has brought a lot of manufacturing jobs to the United States. These are the things that you guys got to do your research before you decide to vote. I already did my research, and he's done a lot for the infrastructure. He did the CHIP Act. He did the Inflation Reduction Act. He's done a lot of things that you guys refuse to see. You know, you could be a Republican. That's all good and dandy. But when you are a mega Republican, that's no good because that falls into a cult. I appreciate true Republicans that they stay true to their party no matter what. So if they say if their candidate didn't win, okay, they might go with Donald Trump because they're Republicans, but there are other hardcore Republicans that will go with Kamala Harris because they don't like Biden. I mean, they don't like Donald Trump. They don't like for what he stands for. They don't like the way he talks to them. They don't like the way he mocks people. And that's the truth. So, Donald Trump, for me, is not going to win this election. What he did with Roe versus Wade, and taking acclamation for it, and taking the pride that he did that, even women who are Republican women who are pro-life are going to go against him because now, yes, you're pro-life, thank you, but you're taking the right away from me to choose what I want to do. You don't tell me what I can and cannot do. The same thing with COVID. How many times when we had the pandemic, a lot of Republicans say, "No, you don't have to. You don't tell me what to do. You don't mandate me. I gotta take the vaccine." No, that's my body, my choice. The same thing with this. It's a woman's body, it's a woman's choice to do this. And it's time that the government stops looking at a woman and start also punishing the man. The man who got these women pregnant. It takes two to tango. It's got to be a way where you could reprimand these men. So every congressman that's been doing this in any state, any senator, or any House of House of Representative, have been always down on women. Men who have no ovaries, men who can't get pregnant, men who have no vaginas are telling women what they can and cannot do. And that's appalling. And I'm not going to stand for that. That's one of the reasons that I'm voting for Kamala. Because I want women's rights. I want them to choose what they want to choose. Remember one thing. Several years ago, 30 years ago, Donald Trump, you can look it up, NBC. Look it up, NBC. Look, Donald Trump, pro-choice, 1999. And you will see what he says, I am pro-choice. I cringe when I hear the word abortion. Think about that. Think about when he says that our country is better off with Democrats because Democrats know how to lead the economy. Think about that. People can change their mind, but Donald Trump does not change his mind. Donald Trump goes wherever the flow. And if he thinks that he can win as an independent, he will go as an independent. If he thinks he can win dressing in green, he will be dressed in green. Because he goes where he knows or he thinks he's going to win. And that's sad. He's not the only one that's done it. Okay, don't get me wrong. He's not the only one that's done it. But others who have done it have kept their convictions straight. He could have said I'm pro-choice, but I'm a conservative. That would have been fine. He could have said I'm neither here or there. Whatever the people decide, whatever the Supreme Court decides, I'm good with that. He could have said that too. But he emphatically, I did in 50. I took away the Roe versus Wade, what no president has done in 51 years. That doesn't resonate well with women. Okay, that does not. And there's going to be a lot of women voters out there, a young Gen Z, Gen X, a lot of women out there who are going to vote just because of that. And mark my word, the woman vote is the one that's going to, those women who have decided that you took the vote away from me, whether they're a Republican, Independent, or Democrat, those are the women you're going to oust. The very thing that he hates the most is misogyny, because he's a misogynist. The very thing that he hates the most is colored women or women in power. Those are the women who are going to take this man down. Mark my words, those are the women who's going to take this man down.